McDonald's is recognized absolutely everywhere as the world's biggest hamburger company. The golden arches are practically a universal symbol. But here is their absolute biggest secret. They don't actually make most of their money selling burgers. Welcome to This Explainer, where we are going to completely uncover the hidden business model and the massive behind-the-scenes empire powering this giant. It's an unbelievably fascinating story. We're talking real estate, human psychology, and a brilliant system that literally revolutionized the modern world.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. How exactly does a burger company rule the world? The company behind billions of Big Macs built its staggering global dominance using a strategy most customers never even notice. Think about it. The answer isn't found in their secret sauce, and it certainly isn't just about selling cheap fries. The real secret is found in a masterclass of hidden economics and corporate architecture.
It's kind of the ultimate illusion. When you or I pull into the drive-thru, what we see as consumers is a place to get fast, reliable, cheap food, right? But what they see from the corporate suite is prime real estate. Behind every single golden arch isn't just a kitchen, it's a highly sophisticated machine. We're talking property ownership, franchise agreements, massive global supply chains, and hyper-efficient data collection. It is a whole different ballgame.
Section 1. The origin and the pivot, from burgers to empire.
So the person who actually created this global system wasn't the original inventor of the Big Mac or even the founder of the restaurant itself. The story actually kicks off back in 1940 when Richard and Maurice McDonald opened their very first restaurant in California. Fast forward to 1948, and they gave birth to the Speedy Service System, basically an assembly line kitchen totally focused on extreme efficiency, a super limited menu, and lightning fast speed. But the major pivot? That happened when a milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc walked through their doors. He saw completely different potential. He envisioned a massive national expansion, opening the first franchise location in 1955 and basically setting the stage for an empire.
Section 2. The Franchise Revolution. Scaling the empire.
Traditional businesses grow incredibly slowly. If you try to build and pay for every single new location all by yourself, well, you run out of capital really fast. Kroc knew he needed a radically different system to scale this concept globally, and that led to a totally genius separation of duties. Think of it like a partnership. McDonald's, the corporation, provides the overarching brand power, the intense operational training, and the strict supply chain logistics. Meanwhile, the independent franchise owner, they provide the local investment capital, the daily management, and the on-the-ground hustle. By letting independent operators put up the money, the brand expanded at unprecedented speed using other people's capital. It's brilliant.
Section 3. The Real Estate Empire. The Hidden Engine.
Now, however much you think you know about fast food, almost nobody knows this part. The true financial engine of the company is entirely separated from the fries. McDonald's doesn't just sell food, it controls incredibly valuable pieces of the world's commercial landscape. The strategy is so brilliant in its simplicity. Corporate often outright owns or leases the actual land the restaurant sits on. They then turn around and rent that exact location back to their franchisees at a premium, collecting both rent and ongoing royalties. In doing this, McDonald's silently transformed into one of the most powerful real estate companies on planet Earth.
But why is that land so absolutely vital? Well, because a restaurant isn't just a physical building. Controlling prime real estate at busy intersections means you capture guaranteed customer traffic, you get unbeatable high visibility, and you offer unmatched convenience to the modern commuter. And the most important part? You hold on to the future property value of that land for decades. Whether a specific restaurant has a good month or a bad month selling food, the underlying commercial land just keeps appreciating. It's practically an infallible safety net.
Section 4. The Global Machine. Systematizing Success.
Having thousands of independent operators running thousands of different restaurants honestly sounds like a massive recipe for total chaos. How do you keep them all perfectly aligned? Well, you build an unbreakable operational loop. First, strict ingredient sourcing. Second, a flawless global distribution network. Third, relentless quality control. And fourth, a perfectly consistent customer experience. This super rigid system ensures that a Big Mac tastes identically perfect whether you're biting into it in New York, London, Tokyo, or Dubai. That level of extreme predictability, it's incredibly comforting to consumers worldwide.
But operations alone don't build a cultural empire. You've got to combine that rigid physical consistency with powerful marketing psychology. Things like the Happy Meal, family-focused advertising, and the manufactured hype around limited-time products like the McRib build deep, lifelong loyalty. Actually, here is a wild fun fact for you. Thanks to the Happy Meal, McDonald's is considered one of the absolute largest toy distributors in the entire world. No joke.
They aren't just selling a meal, they're building a deeply ingrained habit from a very young age, basically turning a cheap dinner into a highly recognizable family experience.
What's truly staggering is realizing just how much of this vast empire is actually operated by independent franchisees rather than corporate headquarters. The overwhelming majority, we're talking around 93% of global locations, are franchised. McDonald's corporate acts almost entirely as a massive landlord and brand manager. They're cleverly shifting the daily risk, the local employment, and the operational grind of actually flipping the burgers onto the shoulders of those local franchisees. And when you stack McDonald's annual revenue up against heavyweights like Burger King, Wendy's, and Subway, the financial gap is absolutely staggering. They simply operate on a completely different financial playing field. When you look at the numbers, you can clearly understand why this hybrid franchise and real estate model makes them one of the strongest, most economically resilient brands in all of business history.
Section 5. Threats to the system. Navigating criticism.
Of course, no corporate empire is totally invincible. Behind all this massive financial success is a complex web of real-world problems that the company must constantly navigate. They face intense, ongoing public scrutiny from all sides. First, nutritional concerns and the global debate around obesity have quite literally put their core menu items under a microscope. Second, employee wages and labor conditions remain a constant point of friction. And third, they're battling rising operational costs alongside rapidly changing consumer food trends. These are significant structural risks to the traditional fast food business model.
But an empire this size doesn't just sit still while the world changes around it. To adapt to these risks, they are actively pivoting. They've introduced healthier menu options to directly address the nutrition debate. They're aggressively rolling out digital ordering kiosks, streamlining operations to smartly navigate those labor challenges. They're heavily pushing app-based loyalty programs to retain modern customers, and investing deeply in global sustainability efforts. Basically, they are constantly tweaking the machine to ensure it survives the modern era.
Section 6. The future of fast food. The next frontier.
So what happens next? The future of the industry could completely disrupt the physical foundations of the empire that Ray Kroc built. By 2030, we're looking at vast AI ordering ecosystems and digital loyalty becoming the absolute standard. Fast forward to 2040, and we could realistically see advanced robotics, highly personalized food recommendations, and fully automated smart restaurants completely taking over the kitchen space. And by 2050, we're talking about instant food delivery tech like drones. The pace of technological change in how we get our food is accelerating at breakneck speed. The reality is the future relies heavily on data, technology, and customer relationships, not just physical burgers. The company deeply realizes that people don't just buy products anymore. They buy convenience, speed, and seamless experiences. To maintain their massive edge, McDonald's is effectively transforming into a tech company. They're utilizing staggering amounts of data to seamlessly predict what you want to eat before you even pull your car into the drive-thru. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Which leaves us with a fascinating question to take away from this explainer today. Will humans even still visit physical restaurants when technology can deliver food instantly right to our exact location? If AI and automation deliver our food to our doorsteps in minutes, what actually happens to the value of McDonald's legendary multi-billion-dollar real estate empire? The physical corners of busy intersections have been their absolute secret weapon for decades, but tomorrow's battlefield might be entirely digital. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible business model. I'll leave you to ponder that.
Thanks for watching World Decoded. Make sure to like and share, subscribe, and stay curious.